Pyaaz ka parantha is an Indian flatbread made from whole wheat flour stuffed with onion. This video will show you how to make a yummy, crispy Pyaaz ka parantha step by step. Here's everything you'll need, starting with 2 cups of atta or whole wheat flour, 1 large onion, chopped, some freshly chopped green chili pepper, and about 3/4 of a cup of water. The spices we'll be using today are ground chili powder, coriander powder, and roasted crushed cumin seeds. We'll be using salt too, but not until much later. To make the dough, start by mixing a little bit of water into the flour. I'm using a spoon to mix my dough because I don't want to get my hands dirty just yet. Keep adding a little water at a time and working your dough. If you need more than 3/4 of a cup, that's okay. You will have to start using your hands at some point. It's not a clean job, but it's essential to the process. Your dough should be forming itself into a nice round ball. It'll be moist, but it should hold itself together and should be easy to handle. Add the freshly chopped green chili pepper to the onion, and let's go ahead and add the other spices too. We're going to put in half a teaspoon of each of the spices and combine everything together. When I make paranthas, I like to set up the components on my counter so that I can reach everything easily. I keep a little oil in a dish for when I'm handling the dough and some extra flour at hand for when I'm rolling it out. Now let's go ahead and get started. Dip your fingers in the oil, grab some dough and work it into a ball. A little less than a handful should be enough. Coat the ball with a little flour so that it's easy to handle. I like to give mine a little pat before I get started. Then I use my rolling pin to shape the dough into a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Place a couple spoonfuls of the onion mixture onto the dough. I say a couple because I'm not sure of the measurement. Now you can add some salt. We didn't do this before because adding salt to the onion mixture makes the onions spring water. That in turn makes it very difficult to roll out the parantha. Start bringing up the edges together and closing your dough into the shape of a little bag. If some of the onion falls out, you could shove it back in or just keep it for the next one. I like to complete this stage by twisting the edges and pressing them down a little bit. It's a little flat, but I'm going to be rolling it out anyways. I coat the dough in flour again so that it doesn't stick to the surface of my cutting board. Then I grab my rolling pin and start shaping my parantha. If I feel like my parantha is sticking against my rolling pin, I add a little flour, and that makes it easier to shape. Round isn't always an easy shape to achieve at first, but with practice you'll definitely be able to get there. Now carefully transfer your parantha onto a hot tawa or non-stick pan like I'm using. Give your parantha a chance to cook before flipping it. That could be anywhere from a minute to a minute and 15 seconds. After flipping, you can brush a little ghee onto the cooked side of your parantha, but that's completely optional, and there are healthier alternatives like bisal or even olive oil. After about a minute on each side, your parantha is probably done, but if you like yours extra crispy, feel free to keep flipping it and let it cook some more. This time I made 3 paranthas. As you can see, I have quite a few materials left over. I probably have enough dough to make another 3 paranthas, and as for the onion, well, I might have to chop some more. If this happens to you, don't worry. This will make a wonderful snack later or a delicious breakfast tomorrow morning. These paranthas are being enjoyed with aam ka achar and dhania chutney, but you could eat them with just about anything. Sometimes I eat mine with ketchup. And now for some variations. If you like the flavor of garam masala, you could add half a teaspoon to the onion mixture. Instead of onions, you could use boiled mashed potatoes. In fact, there are so many different types of paranthas, each with different stuffings and that use different spices. When I make paranthas, I usually add freshly chopped cilantro to the stuffing, but I didn't have any this time. Paranthas of any kind are typically eaten with a side of plain yogurt and any kind of achar. For more step-by-step recipes, please view my blog at www.anilamaharaj.com.
सानू